Okay, so for all my Guinness fans, I've got some like super, super exciting news. If you aren't familiar with what I do different adapters. So I do bottle opener adapters like that. I also do custom umbrellas as well. And they use a common threading. So they use a regular pub threading there. So that's the same thing as you'd find at like a regular bar or something like that. And so the adapters, they just screw right in. So if you have a normal tap handle, it'll screw in right like that. And so I'll give you a little bit of backstory and then I'll get to the really, really good news. So, for a little bit of context, Guinness tap handles don't use the same threading, or at least most of the ones in the US don't. So, if you look at this actually has a different attachment here, and that's because of the fact that Guinness has their nitro draft. And so it uses this mechanism instead, and the tap handle attaches to that draft using this locking pin. And the thing with that is that you've got some amazing, super cool tap handles like this vintage one that they have. Except the problem is if you collect those and you want to display them, so if you want to have it up on your walls or if you want to have it on your keg and you don't have a nitro keg, you simply don't have a way of doing that. But there used to be a guy that made these custom adapters. So he made these adapters that would make it so that you could attach this to the connector, and then you would have on the other end you'd have your tap ferrule, and then you'd be able to have that regular threading. So that would mean that if you had a display stand, so just one moment. So if you had a display stand like one of these hockey puck stands, then you would be able to screw it in. But what ended up happening is that guy just stopped making them. I've got no idea why. He just didn't have his stuff listed anymore. And so you simply couldn't find a way of getting it so that you would have a regular adapter for that. So you'd have a way of attaching it to either your regular tap handle display stand or your regular pub style draft. And then in addition to that, with the adapters that I do, like this, you didn't have a way of attaching those to the Guinness tap handles. The exciting news though is that I've been working on a design that would do kind of the same thing as that previous design that the guy had been doing, and I finally have a working version that I like. So this is what we have. It gives you an attachment up here that you can use with the locking pin. And then it has a washer here so that you can get a nice kind of tight fit there. And then down on the end, you've got your ferrule so that you can actually attach this to your regular display stand. So you can attach it to your regular tap if you have like a regular draft tap and you just want to throw a Guinness tap on there. So I do have these. I've got a final version. I'm just starting to make these available. And so with this, what you do is you take your pin, you loosen that up there, and then this goes in right like that. So you'll see there. And then the pin goes right through that attachment portion. And then you take this portion here, you twist that in, and that goes up against the rubber washer so that you get a nice good fit. You can tighten that up a little bit later. And then there you've got your regular attachment. So that would mean that if you wanted to take this tap handle and turn this into a custom Guinness bottle opener, then that just threads in right like that. And there you go. You've got your Guinness bottle opener, or same thing. If you wanted to do this on a display stand, then you would just take that and you would attach it to your display. And then you'd have a great way of putting this on display in your, like, behind your bar, like wherever you want to do things. And so I'm going to start making these available. Right now, I just am doing my initial run. So that means I'm just going to have a couple of these adapters available. And then I also will have a couple of the Guinness taps available with the adapter so that you can do it on your display stand, or you can get it with a bottle opener adapter, whatever you want to do. But right now, I'm just going to have a few of those available. I'm going to be spending a little bit of time trying to make a few more, but this is one of those things where if you want to have them in time for Father's Day or something like that, then you want to try and grab a couple of the initial batch that I do. Otherwise, the other ones I may not have in time for Father's Day, but I will be putting more of them out as I do have a chance. So that means that keep an eye on my website and I'll have them updated there, both the Guinness taps with the adapter as well as the adapters on their own.